welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most debated and disturbing cases in modern history, the story of Anneliese Michel. Her life took a terrifying turn, leading to a series of exorcisms that ended tragically. Her story raises profound questions about faith, mental illness, and the power of belief.
Buckle up, this is a chilling ride.
Anneliese Michel was born on September 21st, 1952, in Klingenberg am Maine, West Germany. She grew up in a devout Catholic family. By all accounts, her early life was relatively normal. She was a bright and religious young woman, actively involved in her church. However, things began to change drastically in 1968, when at age 16 she experienced her first convulsion. This initial seizure marked the beginning of a long and harrowing ordeal. Following the first seizure, Anneliese began to experience more frequent episodes. Doctors initially diagnosed her with temporal lobe epilepsy. She underwent various treatments, including medication, but her condition didn't improve. Alongside the seizures came increasingly disturbing symptoms. Around 1969, during one of her seizures, Anneliese claimed to feel a heavy weight pressing on her chest, making it difficult to breathe. She also started hearing voices external, critical voices that condemned her, telling her she was damned. As these hallucinations intensified, Anneliese's behavior changed dramatically. She developed a profound aversion to religious objects. The sight of a crucifix would reportedly throw her into fits of rage and terror. Holy water burned her skin, or so she claimed. She tore off religious medals and rosaries, convinced they were causing her pain. Entering churches became unbearable. She was often physically unable to cross the threshold. By the early 1970s, Anneliese's behavior had become deeply disturbing. She started engaging in self-harm, biting herself and others. She reportedly exhibited unusual physical strength during her fits, requiring multiple people to restrain her. Her diet became increasingly bizarre. She was observed eating spiders, flies, and coal. Her vocalizations changed alongside her own voice. She spoke in guttural tones, claiming to be various entities. Psychiatric evaluations led to diagnoses of psychosis and depression. She was hospitalized multiple times, but no treatment offered lasting relief. Anneliese and her family grew convinced her suffering had a supernatural origin and that she was possessed. Believing medicine had failed her, they turned to the church. They pleaded with priests for an exorcism. However, the Catholic Church requires thorough investigation to rule out medical causes before authorizing exorcisms. Initially, their requests were denied. Despite rejection, the family persisted, presenting evidence of her extreme behavior, aversion to religious symbols, claims of demonic voices, and speaking languages she hadn't learned. In 1975, after investigation, Bishop Joseph Stangl granted permission for the Great Exorcism. Under the Ritual Romanum, the task was assigned to Father Arnold Renz and Pastor Ernst Alt. The exorcisms began in September 1975 and continued for nearly 10 months. Sessions were held weekly, often lasting several hours. During these rituals, Anneliese was physically restrained as priest Trace recited prayers, biblical passages, and exorcism formulas in Latin. Chilling audio recordings captured Anneliese speaking in multiple voices, identifying herself as various entities, including Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Nero, Adolf Hitler, and a defrocked priest, Fleischmann. These voices expressed hatred for religion, engaging in blasphemous outbursts. Despite the intense exorcisms, Anneliese's condition worsened. She became weak and emaciated, eventually stopping eating. She claimed the demons forbade her from consuming food. The family, deeply entrenched in their belief in her possession, neglected her physical needs. By summer 1976, Anneliese was frail and barely conscious. On July 1st, 1976, she died in her family's home. Anneliese Michel's death led to a highly publicized trial in 1978. Her parents and the two priests who performed the exorcisms were charged with negligent homicide. The prosecution argued her death was preventable with medical intervention, presenting evidence of her epilepsy and psychosis. They stated her symptoms aligned with these conditions. The defense argued she was genuinely possessed, presenting audio recordings as evidence of demonic entities. The trial highlighted the clash between faith and science, forcing the court to grapple with profound questions about belief, caregiving responsibility, and distinguishing spiritual affliction from medical illness. The court ultimately found Joseph and Anna Michel, Father Renz, and Pastor Alt guilty of negligent homicide. They received suspended sentences. The verdict acknowledged the tragedy of Anneliese's death while holding the defendants accountable for failing to seek adequate medical care. To this day, Anneliese Michel's case remains a source of debate. For some, it is a chilling testament to demonic forces and faith's power. For others, it is a tragic example of untreated mental illness and the rejection of medical science. What are your thoughts? Supernatural possession or untreated illness? Share your perspective in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more chilling stories.